Hello and welcome to MalMakes. Today we're painting the Seabreeze Cove loading screen from Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. This is the full version. If you're interested in the time-lapse, you can click on the card here. Otherwise, let's get started. With the release of Tropical Freeze on the Switch coming up, I thought it was a good time to continue my series of all of the silhouettes on the loading screens. So the next one in order is Seabreeze Cove, and with Funky Kong being added into Switch, I thought it was a really fitting loading screen for him to be in, just because it's tropical and he has a surfboard. So I decided to do him kind of flipped up doing a handstand with the surfboard in this scene. And I'm going to be starting with the background. It starts with more of like a pinkish red, fading down into a very light yellow and fading down into almost white here. So those are the colors I'm going to start with on the very background of the canvas. So I have 4 colors on my palette. I have titanium white over here, and that's going to be at the very bottom of the canvas just to lighten up a little bit more of the yellow towards the bottom. The yellow here is a primary yellow with titanium white. This color is more of a red-orange that I made with magenta and yellow and then added a little bit of white too. And then this is just pure magenta with just a touch of titanium white, but it's mostly magenta to make it a bit more saturated. So this is probably the most saturated color, going all the way down into a pure tint of titanium white. So I'm starting with the white at the bottom, and I'm going to paint across the canvas, and I'm going to blend that up into the light yellow and then blend that up into kind of the orangish pink color and then into the magenta at the very top. What I'm going to do next is draw in all of my layers with a chalk pastel pencil. I like to use these because they erase really cleanly on top of acrylic paint. Because it's really dry and permanent, I can use a damp towel to clean it up. And I find that the white obviously doesn't work so well over lighter colors. So I do have a few lighter gray colors that I can use on top of this white to make sure it shows up. When I'm drawing these palm trees, I find that if I start with the center point and then fill in the fronds from there, it looks a lot more natural. So everything kind of goes from this like a flower that's tilted back a little bit. So like this one I have coming up here, this one kind of goes a bit higher and lower, and this one's straight on here in the center. So I vary it up that way, and then I add details. So like these parts where it cuts in to have negative space, maybe this one has a little bit more. But I'm just adding variations in those so they look different from all the rest of them. The trick for the trunk is to start from that center point and bring it down whichever way you want it to go. Now, some palm trees are straight and some curve, and this one I think I'm going to have curve kind of like in like this. So then I can kind of use that as the skeleton base of the tree trunk and kind of bring in this edge here on the left and the right. I haven't drawn in everything just because my hand would smear some of the chalk of the palm trees that are going to be here, but I did everything that's really important. Some of these really big things that I can't move around too much, like that front ground for the black, this faraway hill, and this rock. And then I did the palm trees I need for this first layer, which is this one here and then this little one here on the edge. This big one over here is going to be my second layer, but I wanted to make sure I started to fill some of that in. And my first layer is going to be this light pink color. I've taken this light magenta I had, added more white to it, and just a touch of blue to make it a little bit more of a cool pink color. And I'm going to fill in this entire palm tree with this. My next layer is a darker magenta, and I made it by taking the light magenta I had up here and adding just a little bit of blue to it so it was a little bit purple. But I'm going to paint this faraway hill in this color, and then also this palm tree, and then once that layer is dry I can draw in the rest of the palm trees in the other two layers. My last layer before the silhouette layer is this reddish violet color, and it has a lot of magenta in it and just a little bit of cyan, so it's just a little bit purple. So I'm going to fill in this rock, these reeds, and then these two palm trees with it, and then I can go on to the last layer. This final layer is all done, so I just have to draw and then fill in Funky Kong. So I'm going to be using the paint marker to fill in everything that's in silhouette, and then I'll have to use the heavy paint for the shirt and the cap and then the surfboard. But it's going to be white, red with white polka dots, and then the surfboard's going to be solid red. With the paint markers, it was easy enough to block in Funky Kong's silhouette and then use the white paint marker for the surfboard, his shirt, and then his cap here. And then I'm using a Naphthol Red Light, and this is Golden's High Flow, to fill in the surfboard and the hat. And I'm going to give another coat to the shirt just because it's a little bit transparent and not bright white. But once I have that all done, I can go back over all of the black and make sure it's perfect. And we're done! We have Sea Breeze Cove from Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. If you're interested in this piece, you could buy a print or a poster or bid on this original canvas. There's links down below. Also, consider supporting me on Patreon. You can find out more at supportmel.com. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future episodes of MalMakes, and I'll see you again here for another video game painting.